want to thank all of you for being here as we highlight this beautiful exhibit from the Historical Institute of Culture and the African American Experience. I want to thank Bishop Jones and Curtis Jones Jr. for being here today. This is just a wonderful treasure, and I'm so glad we get to highlight it. I know Bishop Jones is going to talk a little bit more about the specifics, but just a few things that I learned and that I talked about last week. We did one of our weekly walk and talks, monthly now, on this. So 100 years ago, it's been 100 years since 1926, when Dr. Carter Woodson, who is now known as the father of Black history, recognized that so much of our own history was being left out. The contributions of African Americans were really not being told as part of our American story, and he understood and knew that we needed some intentional time to set aside and really study and learn about and share these important contributions. So he kind of took the timing of the birthdays of Frederick Douglass as well as President Abraham Lincoln and grew February into what we now know as Black History Month. And this is really a time to celebrate the achievements, the resilience, and the impact of African Americans throughout our American history. And just some few exhibits here, just a little piece of that to remind us all about these important contributions. So of course, Dr. Woodson knew it then, and we know it now. We can't fully understand or celebrate our history without recognizing the important contributions of Black leaders, artists, inventors, both in our own city here and across the country, because they've really shaped the world that we live in. And we're lucky here in Erie for many reasons, but one of them is here with us this morning, thanks to the incredible work of the Historical Institute of Culture and the African American Experience. Bishop Jones and his wife, Pastor Vicki Jones, everything they've done to create this place, this actual living place in Erie where we can all come together and learn about so many things that I think are forgotten. And I'm just so grateful to them. You know, it's not just a little history on walls, it's rooms and rooms filled with preserved stories, inventions, and lived experiences that educate and inspire us today and also will live on into our next chapter. Every time I've been, and I've been there a few times now, I'm just blown away. The attention to detail, the breadth and depth of the stories that are there. So much effort and love has been put into this space. So I'm so grateful that we have this opportunity to highlight just a bit of it here at City Hall. For those of you also, I want to highlight, for those of you that don't know, the Historical Institute of Culture and the African American Experience is located over on East 9th Street. It's actually in a building that used to be owned by St. Mary's School. I went to St. Mary's myself, so I always am reminded of that when I'm over there. But this organization operates as a nonprofit. They have done all this work for our community, and they recently suffered a devastating break to their heating system, which many of us have certainly dealt with. So I really just want to say, as we are enjoying this and as we are benefiting from the work of this entity and this organization, if there is a way for anyone who'd like to contribute to support the museum and make sure that they can have their heating fixed, that they can continue to operate, there is a GoFundMe set up. So please take a look at that, and if you're so inclined, we would certainly appreciate the support that anyone can give so that we can continue to keep this alive. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bishop Jones. He's going to share a little more about the museum itself and the significance of the exhibit today. Bishop?
Thank you, Mayor, and thank everyone for being here. It is a privilege and an honor for us to be able to be here today to display some of the exhibits that we do have at the Historical Institute of Culture and the African American Experience. It is a 9,700 square foot facility which is located at 315 East 9th Street, as the Mayor had stated. It is the former rectory of the St. Mary's where the priests would stay. There are 30 rooms in the facility. The first and the second floor, we have local artists. We have not just people who do art, but we have different means or media of art. We have those who paint, those who poetry, and so we have different means. And again, just thank the mayor and her administrative staff for allowing us to just be able to display just some of the things that we have at the museum. As you see today, mainly what we're doing with this particular display, we are highlighting inventors, African-American inventors. But when you come to the facility, you will see more inventions that are either initially inventors of African-Americans or an improvement to an invention. Along with that, we have a military room where we actually have Tuskegee Airmen uniform who actually lived in Erie, passed away 2 years ago. So we have that. We're highlighting some not just national people in the service, but also local. We have a Native American room. We have a African Cultural Center. We have one room where we're highlighting the Negro League. Also, the contributions of African Americans into politics. We also have a slave quarters, which is very, very sacred. It's very unique. A lot of people come to the museum, they look in it, and they will not enter because it is so emotional. So again, what we're doing here again is just a privilege and an opportunity to be able to share. This is something I think that is very unique for Erie. This is something that, and again, thank the mayor for allowing us to be able to highlight Black History Month. But this is something that doesn't end at Black History Month. It continues throughout the year. As the mayor had mentioned, that we are unfortunately now that our boiler is down, but we are in a position that people are helping us. They are contributing to what we are doing. There's also Erie Bank has jumped in, and they have set up an account for the Historical Institute. It is so if you'd like to contribute that way, it is under boiler repair. Also, as the mayor has also stated, that we have a GoFundMe account. Again, we're just so excited of the contributions that not just national people have contributed to society, but Erie has a lot of African American history, and we showcase that, and we're going to even highlight more rooms that just show specifically sports, local sports heroes, those in music. We have some great musicians here, Mary Alice Brown. It is just so much. Erie is rich with African American culture, and we're just so privileged to have this opportunity at the Institute to showcase this and to be able to just show our contributions to Erie. Again, we're just so happy to be able to do this. Mayor, thank you again. Thank you, administration. And at this time, maybe I'll give just a little space to my son, Curtis Jr. He'll say something as well. Little space.
The mayor and I had the privilege of working together, so she wanted to qualify little space. I can't say it any better than my father's already said it. It's a privilege and an honor for us as a family to be able to offer this. We'll call it hallowed ground and sacred space in a great reuse of a historic and historically relevant space, like the space of St. Mary's and the work of the Benedictine Sisters on East 9th Street. And so please come and support it. Understand that it's Black history, but it's really American history. It's global, it's national, it's human history. So come support it and be a part of learning. I'll close with this, is that, Black history is not only shouldn't only be relegated to February, of course, but it shouldn't be relegated just to Black people, right? If it's really our American history, and it is, again, global history, it's all of our history, and we should know as much as possible. Wherever you're ignorant, it's not bliss, it's where you're vulnerable. And so this is an opportunity to learn more, to grow together, and we appreciate everyone who has supported. And the last thing I'll say is, as this boiler is down, this is a big deal for us, and it's not so we can just open up. We literally have 1,500 school students that are ready to come through for their annual tour. And so if we don't get this facility up to par with the temperature and the boiler being repaired, that won't happen this year, regrettably. And so anything you can do to be a part of it. I'm honored to be the son of this man and the oldest son of my mother as well, who couldn't be here, Pastor Vicki Jones, but we thank you all for your support, continued support. Mayor, it's been an honor, and it will continue to be an honor to work with you and your staff.
Yeah, I just do want to reiterate for a second, what Curtis just mentioned. I mean, it would be a real tragedy if our students, particularly during this important month, can't get there. So I really would ask again, if there's anything that folks can do to help, get the museum back up and running, please do. And I was also struck as you both were talking, we had a lot in the media over the past week about racist comments, the way that we talk to each other, the way we talk about each other. That does all come from ignorance. When we know each other as humans, when we learn about where we come from, what we're proud of, what we've contributed, I think the opportunities for that go down. And so it's probably more than ever important that we educate ourselves in just human history and what we've each contributed to this world that we live in together. So thank you both again. And before we close, I do want to say we want this building, City Hall, to be more than just a place where you pay your parking tickets, pay your taxes, do your things that maybe you may or may not want to do. We want this is the public's building. This is the people's place. So we want it to be welcoming, and we're working on that. And I think today is a great step in that direction. It's an opportunity for us to open up and invite people in to learn about things, to do things together. So today's exhibit, I think, is a great step in that. Please remember, this will remain on display through the end of Black History Month on February 28th. It's open to the public during regular City Hall business hours, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Come on in, take a look, and maybe you'll see some other good things you like here about City Hall. We're going to continue to make those improvements together as we write this chapter. So thank you again to both of you for being here today. Please visit this wonderful gem we have in Erie, the Historical Institute of Culture and the African American Experience. I wish you all a very educational and inspiring Black History Month, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you for being here.